Welcome back. We are here for Apocalypse Keys, Bonds of Power, episode 13. Oof, a lot happened last time. We have Wisp back. Everybody is back at division in some way, shape, or form. Um, that's more meaningful than I meant it to be. But yeah, I would love to hear if anybody remembers what happened last time since it's been a little bit.
Okay. Zero and Vivi took on a big monster that was coming out of the rift over the ocean uh, through a combination of Zero drawing on his ruin move to tick his doomsday clock forward and thus bring the monster's nightmare to life. That nightmare being how Vivi closed the rift the first time. Meanwhile, as the rift was closing, Zero zipped inside with the Halama and rescued Luna and her Halama. And then Vivi, with some help from Zero's new offshoot, uh, took out the rift monster. I think that about sums up that side of things. Oh, and Zero's other half killed General Pain.
-0 killed off General Payne. Yep.
And meanwhile, Petri was having their own adventure with a giant Halama heart.
Yep. Petri and Agent Danvers. I'll figure it out later. Petri and Agent Danvers explored the bowels of the island and discovered, wouldn't you know it, there was a secret sub-basement below the secret sub-basement, and that had a giant Halama heart in it, which was being used to keep a smaller rift open at the behest of, and that was Doom's Door. At the behest of the Harbinger. So Petri decided to venture across all of possibility and make it different. And then it bloomed. And then the island collapsed, but it was okay.
It was okay because Petri turned into gas and saved all the humans. Rescue gas.
Oh yes, that also happened. Go Petri rescue gas.
And after they got home, Cobb confronted Zero about Zero being kind of a dick, and Zero was still kind of a dick, but Cobb decided this is a good opportunity to tell Zero that he's kind of a god. And that won't have any negative repercussions whatsoever. But Zero did ask if he could go to McDonald's, and Cobb seemed inclined to make that happen.
What about Vivi?
I think a lot of that was covered. Vivi tried to foist life coaching onto Zero unsuccessfully. And then, oh yeah, Vivi sang a song of death after stealing part of Zero's power. That was the main thing, I think.
And then when you returned back to Division and met with Agent Ehrlich?
Yes. Vivi got some advice, understanding, made a connection with Agent Ehrlich about loss and grief. And I think was far more even keeled after that in a way.
Nice. And then Wisp. I think as you were trying to figure out and unravel the mystery of this person who was mutating into what looked like one of your people, albeit in a smaller form. I think this is where all the cacophony about needing help to close the rift, and then the collapse of the island, and all this was happening around you. And I think it's when all of the pilots and the Palomar remaining needed to be evacuated, and then I think you were able to go out with the others. But I have a question for you. Do you think that the shock of seeing this person, Donovan, as one of possibly your own, did that shock you down to your core to possibly ask questions of your mother? Or did it send a shock down to alert your psychic liaison and cause him to ask what was going on?
I think that definitely if the channel was still open, Dale would have felt Wisp's confusion more than anything. There's some anger swirling in there somewhere, but that's always true. I don't think Wisp would. So whether Dale like followed up on that or not, I'll leave up to you. Or whether he's let whoever his boss is at Division know that something, some instability has been introduced to Wisp's psyche. I'll leave up to you. But she definitely would not go to her mother. Not first thing anyway.
Okay.
I think she would want to first speak with Donovan himself.
Okay. Alrighty. So before we get started on scenes, let me ask everyone, what is their intent? I do want, I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. Like, so I would like to see a scene where Cobb sets up this trip to McDonald's. Maybe not necessarily a McDonald's that's like, fully functioning at the moment. Like maybe like this is like closing time at a nearby, not obviously not in Centralia, but like some place nearby
Can you
Centralia.
rent out a whole McDonald's?
Who says he's gonna rent it out? Maybe he knows somebody. But
He's the government, maybe. He can just declare it a hazmat site.
oh God, no. Anyway, yeah.
Eminent
So there'll
domain
be
for McDonald's.
just kind of commandeer it for a little bit. I mean, like, as we just double check on the quality and safety. But yeah. So that's a scene. That's a scene. I think Petri wanted to talk to several different people. Back here at Division. You take your pick. And especially if you have conditions, this is a great time to start thinking about like setting up bonds and clearing said conditions, like using your moves or the basic moves and such. So yeah, I mean, that's what I totally suggest at this moment. Especially now that you're back at Division and then you've started to talk to your handlers. Yeah, that's another interesting one. Let me think a minute. Yeah, I mean, because Agent Peace was there, but I mean, he was busy helping with the evacuation efforts, for sure. I think Lydia had stopped him from reporting everything that had happened, though. I mean, she meant what she said. She's all for the Omens, and there's just certain things that are going on that, can't say everything. But, yeah. What other scenes would people like to have?
So I have notes from last session. There was a request for a scene with Zero from Vivi and Petri, and but that might happen at McDonald's.
Okay.
I also have a note visiting the moon, and I'm not sure why.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
This was just a thing you like. Petri and Vivi were talking about stuff you could do. Just like, why were you stopping yourself? And visiting the moon came up for something to do with Petri, quote unquote, not being able to leave the planet.
I think Agent Ehrlich also wanted you to catch some respite, like not be so involved with what had happened that, you're just going to try to blaze through each of the different mysteries and such and so forth. Like actually like take some place where you can sit back and actually rest. And I think the moon came up. Any other scenes that we're thinking of? With your handlers, with each other,
I would like a scene with just Petri and Wisp, if possible.
Ooh.
That sounds good to me, and I also would like to have a quick scene with Donovan.
Okay.
Who's Donovan? When did he get here? I do not remember that name at all.
He was I believe he was one of the teens that was starting to mutate. And he was turning into a smaller version. Like he was starting to have features and not just appearances. What am I trying to say? It's like, aspects that made him start to look like one of Wisp's people, but obviously more human sized. So that was weird.
We still have the Rosarios, right?
Oh, you still have all the Rosarios. Yeah. They're kind of like, making their way, trying to be helpful in different parts of division and such and so forth. So, the more lab able ones are doing their thing, helping out with division, like, with any data that they were able to salvage or like, again, like just kind of falling into place. And then I forget which one I said. I think it was 16. That was the life coach one. It's like, maybe she's made her way and actually started talking with Agent Ehrlich, who knows. Or Melody. So, yeah, they're around for sure. Okay. Yeah, so not one of the pilots, sorry. But definitely maybe one of the teens that was changed in their mutation of, I think one of the first times that you guys had closed the rifts and like whatever energy leaked out that caused a time shift. And so people were starting to mutate, accelerated. Yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and start with the scene with Wisp and Donovan, and then that could possibly lead into Petri finding Wisp after this conversation. Or do you want to do it the other way around, Wisp?
I think that depends on what Chris has in mind.
I say let the other guy go first.
Okay. Yeah, I think they've brought all the teens / pilots, what have you. If it's not a Rosario that has found their way to the places in division they feel the most comfortable, then most likely it's teens recovering. It's, they're in the infirmary, or maybe they've made their way to more serene parts of Division, like the internal gardens or the library, that sort of thing. But yeah,
Cool.
go ahead.
Maybe Wisp finds Donovan in the garden.
Okay.
I think she'll stride up. He'll, I think, hear her coming around the corner before he sees her. Her armor sort of um clinking against itself.
Mhm.
And in her hand, she has an entire box of cigarettes, unopened. She's shown a lot of restraint. And she'll walk over, hand out, offering the cigarettes for you.
Oh, uh, this is lovely. I don't actually smoke. But thank you.
Eyebrow arch. Therefore, what is word? Snacking.
Oh, to eat. Ah, I don't think I can. For me, it would be nicotine poisoning.
Hmm. She has this look in her face of like, yeah, that sounds like nonsense, but more for me. And she just like rips the plastic off the cigarettes and takes one out, starts chomping.
His eyes go wide as he's watching you, but you notice as you start chomping on the cigarettes like candy. You just notice more of his features, like looking more and more like your people. What has his mutation grown into that just makes you suspect that somehow he's now tied to the Fae?
I think it's the intricate lattice of horns growing out of his skull. He had them before, but just sort of like nubs, I think, coming out of his forehead. But now they've grown these this sort of like antler-like crown shape, almost like a corona or like a halo over his head.
Can I ask you something?
Hmm. I guess that's only fair. I was going to ask you something. You first.
He kind of looks away from you, but then bobs his head. And it's like he's not bothered by the weight. He's not bothered by the newness of this, as if he's always had this antler corona on his head. Very natural for him. And he just looks at you with his eyes, which start to shine with that light that you've seen in your peoples. And he says, I saw you, and I knew that you were my lady. I don't know how else to say it. That you are my... I'm sorry, they wouldn't let me see it. They wouldn't let me look in a mirror. They didn't tell me what other changes happened to me. I just see myself and I know I am different. But I somehow know you. Why is that?
That's What I wanted to ask you. You were human before, yes?
Yes, I think. I mean, we were all brought to the island.
And when did this start? What did they do to you?
I mean, we all had power. Well, not power. We were all able to do something with our minds. And they were encouraging us to communicate with the Halimar. And I did. I reached out and I touched one of them in my head, and then it was like a tearing, like something dark tore at me, and then I was starting to change, and it hurt, and then I saw you, and it was like the pain was fine, because then I would be closer to home. It's the first words that came to my head.
Hmm. Well, this is how I know something is really wrong with you. I don't take away pain. I usually cause it. Where I'm from, we had monsters, not like me, but monsters like the Halima. Big hulking things. Are animals, sort of. I sort of wondered when I saw the Halima whether they were related, and maybe you're proof that they are somehow. But I don't have any answers for you. And she sort of looks askance at, a couple of agents of division walking by on the garden path. Kind of flits her eyes at them and then meaningfully back at Donovan. And if they have the answers, they won't give them to you. I know that 100%.
Maybe they don't know. I mean, we were with mysterious. Maybe division has resources that they could share, and we could find out more. That is why you're here, yes?
Listen, she'll like lean close, put her clawed hand on his shoulder. I imagine being on that island is hard, and that they asked you to do difficult things. Just because this feels easier, this feels nicer and softer, does not mean that it is better. I don't think Division wants to take care of you. It wants to study and use your power the same way they did on that island. I'm too attached to leave. I've been here for too long. Well, you just got here. You should go.
Where do I go? I have no home. At least none that I can remember. I was brought to Mysterious because of... And this is where he will stop. And you see his eyes grow really wide and shine with a light that you have not seen before in any human or any one of your people, as if he's starting to see something in his head that he does not want to see. No. No. I can't. I won't. I can't go back. I did something. And that's why they had to send me away. That's why Mysterious got me. Because I have nowhere else to go.
I think Wisp kind of rolls her eyes at that almost, and just says, "Kid, we've all done something. Doesn't have to be a death sentence."
Even if I caused the death of people I might have cared about?
She nods very slowly, squeezes his shoulder, and there's a bit of uncertainty there. Like, I mean, there are things that are unforgivable, but she just doesn't think that this kid is guilty of them. So she'll just nod and say, "Yes, even if." And in terms of mechanics here,
Mm-hmm.
Wisp does want him to try to leave, but I think that's not like the important thing to me as a player in the scene. I think I just want to like connect with them,
Sure.
and reveal my heart.
Okay. Spend darkness tokens and roll.
I only have one. Yeah, I'll spend it. Whatever.
Can always earn more.
3.
3.
Mhm.
My. On a 7-, something interrupts or undermines the moment. A dire warning, consequence, or an aspect of the mystery itself. Keeper will tell you what happens next. Petri, do you come in through the garden somehow? You're on mute.
Oh, sure. Why not? Is Wisp in the mood to talk, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Your answer would not have changed what Petri did, but that's nice.
Yeah, I think you come up out of the ground or one of the plants, and then you see, I think Wisp, like.
No, he's just lying down. He doesn't grow out of anything. He's just lying there.
Okay.
He does get up like Nosferatu, though.
Oh my God. And I think you see, I think you see them do this, Wisp.
Amazing. Should we cut back to this?
Do we want to? Do you want the break?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I had a pretty
Yeah,
easy scene
let's.
just now, so.
Okay. Alrighty. So, 0, Petri, do either one of you want to do a scene with whomever or together, or do you want to? I don't want to speed to. I don't want to speed to. I don't want to speed to the McDonald scene too, like too soon. So I mean, like, whatever you two want to do before that, that would be great.
If Petri wants to do a meetup before McDonald's, that's fine. But I think 0 might like to find Lydia.
Oh, ooh, do that.
Okay.
I can sit this out. I'm fine with my one pre-McDonald's scene, and then I'll make sure to steal the show a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think um, Lydia has an office, and maybe she's putting things away from, doing logistical things for the evacuation, and also coming off of, I guess, uh, helping getting everybody settled again. But yeah, she has an office.
I think Zero will. He's not going to knock. He's just going to open the door and step in and say, "Mortal." And then he'll pause, and there's like that. That didn't really work.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I was trying something out.
Okay. I mean, I know Cobb likes to watch wrestling and such, but I don't recall any wrestler using that as a you know entry line or anything.
No, no, that was never mind. Actually, I was hoping to talk to you about Cobb.
Oh, sure. What would you like to talk about?
Division has something on him. I want to know what it is.
She gets serious and she will get up and close the door behind you. That's one. And then she'll go over to the corner shelf and then she'll turn on what looks like a Bluetooth speaker. Um, and it kind of blares out, I don't know, some random music, somewhere between uh, something between like 80s pop and um, like 90s grunge. It's very strange, but it's just a cacophony, just enough to cover up anything that you talk about in her office. And then she'll kind of motion to you. It's like, to go into the opposite corner. So this way it's like away from the door. Um, when you really think about it, Zero, Division has something on all of us. I mean, some of us are here to work for Division because we want to be the best agents, the best of what we are. And there are some who have been, I guess, drafted by Division because of something that, as you say, Division has on them.
So Cobb was drafted.
He's not your typical agent, for sure.
Which one of you is a typical agent?
Mind you, she's wearing the uniform. She's got the button-up shirt, and she's got the trousers, suspenders, even, whatever, and like she's got the holster, you know, um, underneath her one arm, and I guess I would be considered more of the typical agent, but I think atypically.
Oh. I am not sure what that means, but I do appreciate the way that you helped smooth things over at Island Zero. So I've decided to mostly trust you.
I get it, Zero. I mean, you all are dealing with such, I mean, I hate to say it, but earth-shattering circumstances. And that can't be easy. And here we are, humans, trying to do what we can to help and be that first bastion, I guess, against things breaking through.
It's stupid and pointless, but I suppose it's some way to spend your time. You have so little of it.
Yeah, we do. But I mean, then you see beings like Vivi, who has control over time, and then you have Petri, who seems to be able to shift between realities, and it's a lot to take in. And all I can do is be here to support what I believe is right, which may not necessarily be the organization. Which then, like at this point, like, as she says this, there's like Rage Against the Machine, like, blasting through her speakers. It's great.
It means nothing to Zero.
No, it means nothing to Zero, but yeah.
He'll look at her and say, okay. So what do they have on you?
Yeah, she kind of gets a more neutral expression on her face. And she'll just say to you, they know I remember when Petri was Peter.
Petri was Peter. What does that mean? And why isn't he Peter anymore?
Because he's Petri now. They're Petri now. I have to be here to observe, watch, try to keep them grounded, I guess.
I think Zero's eyes widen. He goes, that's why you look at him as if you're sweet on them.
What? I mean, and this goes over like the music. What?
When you look at Petri, you have that face that the mortal from the cafeteria showed me.
Wait. Melody?
That's it. When you think no one else is looking and their back is turned, you get this face.
And why was Melody showing you this face?
Because Vivi gets this face when Vivi looks at Wisp.
Okay.
What surface thoughts and feelings do I sense from Lydia?
Confusion, a little embarrassment. Yeah, and then just back to confusion again. Yeah, so she's just like, she wants to say something to you, but she's not sure exactly what to say. Have you been spreading these rumors around for very long, Zero? Because that's... What?
Rumors are usually things that are untrue, aren't they?
Right. Usually.
Then no. What they have on Cobb, is it about someone he is sweet on?
And she just looks at you. Yes. It is about someone he is sweet on.
Interesting. Thank you, Lydia. This has been very informative.
Has it? I'm glad. I'm glad.
I think
You-
I'm going to McDonald's.
Okay. Cobb taking you?
Probably.
Okay. That's probably something he's not going to be logging in anytime soon. So, when you go, make sure you get the fries fresh.
Okay.
And Zero, you haven't said anything to Petri, have you?
No, I usually find talking Petri to be very frustrating. And usually confusing.
Yeah. And she mutters underneath her breath when she thinks that you can't hear. Yeah, Peter was like that too. Hopefully I was
This has
able
been
to help.
great.
You're welcome.
And he'll just leave.
Okay. And then the music goes down as as soon as you leave the room. Just the one face. God, this chat. Oh my God. All right. So for dream future review protocol, what is this dream that Vivi has?
Vivi goes into Agent Ehrlich's office and plonks down a clear Starbucks cup with a straw. It looks like water, except there's a goldfish swimming around in it. He just does not comment on this whatsoever. Sits down across from Agent Ehrlich, looks at her and says, "This is silly sometimes, you know. You're going to laugh. This is ridiculous."
Well, every now and again, I mean, I can totally appreciate humor. I'm just surprised that you would be indulging. You never seem as if things are amusing to you, Vivi.
Oh, there are some mathematical functions that are absolutely a riot.
She kind of just laughs and shakes her head disbelievingly, but okay. So, let me set up the pad and you tell me what this dream is.
Vivi rolls their eyes a little bit. So, fine. We are on the division travel vehicle. It is an airplane. Although I know we are in the airplane, the interior has the appearance of a giant factory, and it is constructing scissors. An electrician on a tall ladder is changing the light bulbs, and I try to assist him, but my hands keep phasing through the light bulbs. Agent Peace and Agent Cobb and Melody from the cafeteria are also on the plane, and they're all wearing those shoes that are missing the top parts that people can see your foot. And they keep insistently trying to give me a portable audio cassette player coated in melted chocolate. I don't want this. They keep giving it to me. I don't want it. They don't believe me that I don't want it. I don't think this one's prophetic. Also, humans do this every night? Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Some remember their dreams. Others others just sleep.
Well, I'll have to do an experiment to find one of them and see if I can reconfigure my human form. At the prospect of reconfiguring human form, Vivi's left arm begins to leave bifurcating into two, and they just look over and glare at it, and it stops. I might need to ask Petrichor for some tips.
Are you going to be able to hold it together?
Yes. Yes. I am stable for now.
All right. Well, let's see what the algorithm shows us. I go ahead and spend some darkness tokens and roll. Let's see what this comes out to be.
Right. I'm going to spend 4.
Okay.
11.
Woo! All right. On an 11, the experts reveal a living nightmare hiding within your subconscious. But you uncover a key. Okay, give me a second. Let me write this down before I forget. Key from Vivi Dream Protocol. Alrighty. And then this keeper describes the nightmare you catch a glimpse of before it escapes into the real world. Aha. Declare an irrevocable truth about the mystery that you learn from the nightmare. Rewrite or add a facet of the mystery that reflects this. So make a marking that you will be able to declare an irrevocable truth once I describe the nightmare. And then you will be able to rewrite or add a facet of the mystery that reflects this. Ah, okay. I didn't see this part. All right, so you can... A facet? If that's written incorrectly, that means it's like you can change one of the subheadings to reflect the nightmare. So, yeah.
Or add. Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or add, yeah, exactly. So that'll be like a separate thing, but then it'll like, give more enrichment to the mystery itself. So think on that once I, give you a key and then I introduce the mystery itself. But yeah, just make notes. And let's see. The nightmare you catch a glimpse of before it escapes into the real world. I think it plays it back. I think the iPad will play it back, but then it changes at the end where instead of the portable audio cassette players being like offered to you by all of those people, I think you'll see that Melody has turned away and she's actually cradling the chocolate audio cassette player. And as she's turning away to bring it with her, maybe to the cafeteria, you don't know, you see it kind of feed out like a bit of itself, like as if like, the tape part has kind of like snaked out of the cassette player. And you see like what looks like a chocolate reel / tongue, like kind of licking at her elbow and then kind of like waving goodbye at you.
That's horrifying.
Yes, it is. So I just have marked the key thing, and then again, we'll get to it when we get to it. Yeah. Wow. And you thought it was going to be funny. All right, great. So back to Wisp and Petri in the garden.
Hi, Wisp. How are you? It's been a while.
I think
Petri.
Donovan will back away and just kind of look and back. Actually, what he'll do is he'll back away a little bit, look between the two of you, and then like kind of make this little bow with his hand over his heart, and then I'm sure I will see you again, my lady. And then he'll bow and head out of the garden.
Don't know him. Who is that?
If he takes my advice, you won't need to know him. You won't have
I
a chance.
want to. He looked weird.
Thing is, how much of our conversation did you hear?
I don't remember.
Good. Cigarette?
Not today. No.
Takes the last two in the packet and pops them in her mouth. How do you feel about the island? Everything that happened?
Do you remember the last time we talked? It was a long time ago, before the island even. I think in Manila?
I remember, yes.
You asked me then what you would do if you only had fire. I have your answer. If you want it.
I'm not sure I do, but that's never stopped you before.
Yes, it has. I always ask. It's never stopped you before.
Petri, I cannot do puzzles and riddles today. What do you want to tell me?
It's really quite simple. Speak of fire, and they will read warmth from it.
What did I just say about riddles and puzzles?
If that's too complicated, I don't think I can help you. But I'll have to keep thinking about it.
Do you think that's what we've done by bringing these people here? Given them someplace warm?
Isn't it pretty to think so? Certainly safer than that island.
Maybe. I don't know, maybe I don't have a good eye for beauty.
What? I'm afraid I don't understand.
You said it was pretty to think that they're safer now.
Sorry. That was something a lover said to me once. But you know my position on beauty. Must.
Remind me.
It's everywhere. It you you can't trip over. I don't know. Every breath is beautiful to me. There's so much in every square inch of world.
Beauty always comes at a cost.
Hmm.
Everything good comes at a cost. If you don't see the ugly and jagged bits, that doesn't mean they're not there.
Without. Well, sorry. You said no more riddles. Let me think for a second. They're beautiful too. I love every bit. What's your home like? I've never been there.
It. Well, you would think it's beautiful. There are places with gleaming castles, high stone walls to keep anything unwanted out. It's green and alive, and no one wants for anything except for the people outside of those tall walls. The unwanted ones who have to scrap and scrounge and scavenge their entire lives, who are born into ash, eventually suffocate on the flames that keep those beautiful cities burning. It's not a nice place.
No, it sounds disgusting. I don't think I want to go there, except maybe to change it.
It would take a lot to change it.
Between the two of us, I think we can do it.
I don't think the question is if we could. I think it's whether it's worth the cost. I agree with you that in this case, change would be a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
Feel your heart?
Yeah, all right. I do have 3 conditions, so I should probably. And no darkness tokens. How do I keep doing that? It's because I forget.
What'd you roll?
That is a 3 on the dice.
Something interrupts or undermines the moment. Dire warning, consequence, or an aspect of the mystery itself. Keeper will
I
Yep.
will say that if you have a bond on Wisp and you can use, if you have a bond on Wisp and are willing to use both that and a bond from someone else, it would get you up to wait, what do you need?
An 8,
And what do you have? Sorry.
a 3.
You have a 3. Okay, you would have to use 3 bonds, one of which would be on Wisp, but you could get it up to an 8. So I have a special move that makes it a +3 instead of a +1.
Oh, hell,
Ah.
wow. Hella. Spend some bonds.
I should just have darkness tokens. I'm taking some for reacting with delight and appreciation. No one can stop me. I now have 3 darkness tokens. Yeah, let's spend a bond with Wisp, bond with what the darkness demands. And why the hell not? A bond with 0. Thinking a lot about direct action in this moment.
And what's your move that makes it a plus +3? Wisp? Sorry.
It is called We're Family Now. So when someone spends a bond with me to modify a roll by +1 or -1, they can choose that the bond instead grants +3 or -3, or that I gain a new bond with them afterwards.
Well, if we boosted you back to the sweet spot of 8 to 10, your
That's
heart
a +5.
okay, your heart reaches theirs. Choose one of those things. And obviously it's a PC and they want to choose to deepen the connection further, which you have. Wisp, go ahead and choose one too. Grow closer, gain 1 bond, soothe your heart, clear 1 condition, taught you something important, mark XP. They gave you hope, clear 1 mark of ruin. So you each pick one.
I'm clearing a condition.
Okay. Wisp?
I have a condition, but I don't want to clear it.
Okay.
I think I'll gain a bond with Petri.
Okay. Cool. And how do you want to close out the scene?
I think it just ends.
Okay.
That was a nice note to end on.
Fair.
Wisp?
Yep, that works for me.
Yes, please. I mean, like, as soon as you can see that you've earned your darkness tokens, please take them. So, anybody else want any more scenes before we hit the McDonald scene? All right. Okay. So, let's say this is later on and Cobb says, comes up to you, Zero. All right. Do you think you'd be taking pool time, or you think he would just find you relaxing or up on the rooftop again?
I think some pool time probably.
Okay. And I think as you're, doing some pool time, I think this is where he comes in. He's wearing his most casual shorts and his one of his wrestling t-shirts, and he's got the pink wristbands on and such. And he just kind of crouches down by the pool and says, "Yeah, you good to go to McDonald's in a few? We'll have to take one of the hover jets. Um, Nothing in Centralia, so we have to go a little bit further out."
Okay, yeah. Which god was I?
You're like so curious now, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Probably one of them.
You I can't tell you everything all at once. I think that would just maybe drive a god mad with knowledge. But what I can say is, people look to you and they think you're benevolent. But it has been said you are one of the most terrible of them all, even in your benevolence. Don't let that go to your head, of course, but
I mean, it's absolutely going to my head. But okay. Somewhere to start, I guess. So yes, Mortal, take me to McDonald's.
Oh, we're down to mortal now? Oh, really? Dude. Do you want to invite one of the others, or the others to go with you?
Oh,
Come with us?
I guess. Yeah. Maybe not Petri. No, we shouldn't invite Petri. Yeah, okay. Also, Lydia says to get fresh fries. I don't know what that means.
I do. Yeah, you don't want fries that have been sitting out for a bit. Yeah. No, we'll totally get fresh fries. It's fine. Yeah, so let's pick everybody else up and then let's get going. Maybe I'm not really doing this, with full permission. So,
Lydia said that you'd have to sneak us out.
why haven't we been talking to Lydia?
No reason.
Wait. He Look at you! And he slaps you on the back. Nice! And he just
What?
gives you this look of like,
What did I do?
great taste. Nice. I mean,
I didn't eat her, Cobb.
he just doubles over and starts to die laughing.
I don't know what's happening.
We're going to McDonald's. It's fine. I'll get the boat. Grab everybody else. Just keep it on the low, on the down low. Like, we're not announcing that we're getting McDonald's for everybody in division. Okay, just keep it quiet and grab the other Omens, and I'll meet you out by the bus, by the boat.
He'll be getting out of the pool, remembering he has to dry off, and hastily doing that and grabbing his robe.
Make sure you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt. can't go out and, you know, uh, bathwear
Oh,
to,
yeah, fine. Okay.
yeah,
No, I'll rush off.
yeah. And then he's kind of like tossing what looks like keys up in the air and then catching them as he's making his way down the hallway. And he starts giggling again, like as he's going down the hallway. Yeah. So I want to see how you're picking up everybody to go on to this trip.
Where would Petri be?
Still lying down in the garden. He just, after the conversation with Wisp, he just fell back over, stayed there.
I think Zero's going to be going toward where he thinks he'll find Wisp, and then as
Step
he's
in
walking through the
Petri.
garden, almost step in Petri and go, why?
Catching up with old friends.
Oh. Do you want to go to McDonald's?
Yes, what's that?
I don't know. A restaurant, I think.
Ooh.
Come on, let's find the others.
Yeah, and he'll just like, I don't know, form around your leg and climb up.
Oh no, please no.
Oh, it's okay. Okay.
Can you just
Get
try
up
and be
normal style.
closer to normal? Thank you. Okay. And yeah, where would Vivi and Petri and Wisp be?
You can't find Vivi at all, but when you get to the car, they will be there.
Oh, okay. I think you mean the hoverjet.
Well, Hoverjet, sorry, yes.
It's cooler than a car.
Much cooler.
What about Wisp?
I think you find her at. I'm imagining Division still has cigarette vending machines for some reason. Like she's getting these cigarettes from
For
somewhere.
you.
They keep
And
removing them, but they keep growing back.
exactly, yeah. You find her like smashing her elbow into the glass front of one of the cigarette vending machines.
A lot of salting it.
Exactly, yeah. And just like rating it.
Hi.
Hi. Are we going on a mission?
Yes,
To where?
McDonald's.
Never heard of it. But she will come with you.
Yeah, I think the three of us will make our way to the hover jet where Vivi is waiting.
Vivi looks in. Where are we going?
McDonald's.
What's that?
McDonald's.
A restaurant.
Oh. But I don't eat.
Can you eat?
Vivi just gets a really far away look.
Would you like to try?
That sounds horrifying. We should do an experiment.
Remember to get fresh fries.
All right, ladies and gents, gotta get moving. Can only hold this bird for so long, and this is where you'll see.
Agent Cobb, this is a hoverjet, not a bird.
Vivi. Try not to take things dang literal, please.
It's division. I just assumed that we did have a gigantic bird that could probably put us all inside of it somewhere. That's a thing that we have, right?
This is it. Hoverjet, also known as the bird. Except in cases where somebody says that they're flipping you the bird, in which case that is a completely utterly different thing whatsoever. Let's go. And then, like, he gestures for everybody to sit in their seats, and they, he pushes off, and you see the hover jet blast off into the sky. And I think, come out of Centralia, and, like, I don't know geography, so excuse me, but, like, the nearest town in Pennsylvania that actually has a McDonald's. And I think as you're going up in the air, which you don't see much from up here, because he's got to get, like, elevation and such to not be spotted. But I think as you're thinking your own thoughts, please tell me, in going to this place that you don't necessarily know what it is as Omens, what do you think of what you know so far from your handlers, from, the situation at Island Zero, what just, anything or everything about it? What is the uppermost thought in your Omen's mind as you're making your way in the hoverjet to a McDonald's? Mind you, it's going on nighttime. You can see stars twinkling in the sky, relatively clear, except for, of course, like, low-lying clouds. And it's a smooth
Vivi
ride.
is preoccupied by physicality and is sort of doing a couple of things at once. One, they're trying to form a stomach. Two, they keep being about to ask Petri about controlling their arms, but that seems like they don't really want to, because everything went weird with Petri, and so they deflect and ask Zero, "What happened to your wings?"
Zero will just turn to Vivi, and they'll unfurl these ones.
Oh, I didn't realize you could do that.
Nor did I. Until I did.
Excellent.
They're a little uncomfortable, actually.
Vivi just looks down at their hands, which are currently dragging on the floor. Yes.
Are you doing that on purpose?
No.
Can you purposefully not do that?
Petri, how do you make your arms short?
I'm going to sit with Wisp.
I fold them.
Interesting. And I don't know if you, when you
Or
were,
I eat them. One of those two.
well, I'm not. It's an n-dimensional brain extrusion. I'm not going to eat it. I don't even have a stomach.
No, you're right.
And you know those springs that as a child you might make out of, like, construction paper, where you fold them over and they kind of, maybe his arms just do that, and they sort of, like, geometrically fold back up until their normal size. That was
When's the last time you weren't folded? You're very well folded, but have you really stretched?
oh gosh, no. It's been, I mean, time is a subjective experience, and it's difficult to
So you could do it
quantify
right
with-
now.
Oh no, it would destroy the plane. Power car, bird.
Don't destroy the bird. You hear this from coming from the cockpit.
But you could do it at McDonald's.
Don't destroy the McDonald's.
But wait, if it doesn't take time, how does it destroy things?
It's,
Couldn't you just do it somewhere else?
but yes, but then you wouldn't be able to. Could I do it somewhere else? If he just produces a notebook and begins, like, drawing, like, doing math about it, pretty much.
One of you destroyed the bird.
I'm sure
What?
it was.
You did
I'm
it.
sure it was an
Someone
accident.
else. But you did it.
Yes, well, I have been kindly requested to not destroy the bird, so I will attempt to not destroy it.
Yeah, I
Was it
wonder what
interesting?
was wrong with that other guy. That other you. They seemed kind of mad. I don't remember.
What is Zero and Wisp doing in the other side?
Oh, sorry. Can I roll reveal my heart for that conversation to someone?
Sure.
Wisp or Petri or Zero, I guess.
I think 0. I think that more of the heart reveal happened with 0.
Okay. Uh, is it 9?
Sweet spot. Yep. Your heart reaches theirs. Choose one. If Zero chooses to deepen the connection, then he can pick one too.
I will clear a condition.
Okay, no.
I will also clear a condition.
Maybe being up here and away from the rest of Division and the responsibility of solving a mystery has just like relaxed you too. But yeah, I want to know like what Wisp is thinking of as you're making your way to this mysterious place.
I think that on some level she's thinking of the thing that's been on her mind most of the time lately. Um, the sense of not quite ennui, but sort of directionlessness. Petri is always talking about other worlds and other versions of ourselves, and she feels like somewhere there's a version of herself that doesn't feel trapped and knows exactly what to do. But that version feels so far away. She doesn't even know where to look for her. But in a more immediate sense, she's wondering what the door of power at McDonald is going to be like. Because of course we are going on a mission.
I think Zero would sit down next to Wisp as Petri and Vivi are talking, and just kind of lean over and say, "I'm a god."
Confusion, then amusement.
Ooh.
A god of
I don't know. Cobb won't tell me. Something terrible. And he looks very pleased by this.
Of course he does. Sorry.
war, maybe?
Ooh.
No, not with a face like that.
What's that mean? What's wrong with my face?
Nothing. And she sort of looks away, like out of the window of the hovercraft for a moment. And takes like you feel her take a really sharp intake of breath before she looks back at you. There's nothing wrong with your face.
Oh. Okay.
So maybe god of the, I don't know, symmetry.
That doesn't seem that useful, actually. But that could be fun too.
What do you want to be god of?
I don't know. Asteroids.
Yeah, I guess that would be a good one.
Yeah. If you were a god, what would you want to be god of?
Blood.
Huh. I like it. I will put in a request to give you an upgrade when I figure out what god I am and whether I can do that.
Is that the promise?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's see what horrors this McDonald's has in store for us. And then I will hold you to it.
Unfresh fries. Avoid them.
I think this is where Cobb will like flick some switches like at the up the cockpit. It's like heading down, and he'll touch down in what looks like a weird, out of the way McDonald's. Like it's kind of off of the like a busy thoroughfare, but it's not necessarily out in the wild either. So, I mean, it's like kind of set back from the road, and for some reason, it doesn't seem that busy, which is not natural. But anyway, yeah, there's barely anybody in the parking lot. In fact, it's like, maybe there's like one or two drive-throughs, drive-through cars. But then, they leave, and then he touches down. Amazingly enough, the hoverjet is like, fairly silent considering its size. And yeah, he kind of gestures for all of you to come out of the hoverjet, and it's like, all right, look, some of the agents come to this place, just to kind of get back into real life, I suppose. And some of the people that work here are familiar with us, but with us, the agents, not necessarily the Omens. They haven't. I think some of them are new now, and they haven't seen an Omen here for quite some time. So, just chill out. Don't freak anybody out like that's actually here. They should be relatively chill. I think humans are more scary than anybody else anyway. And let's get some food. Yeah. I have to bring back an order for Lydia, and he's just kind of like giving like a wink wink nudge nudge look to you, Zero. And and then it's like, I think Agent Peace wanted something. So yeah. Let's go. And yeah, I think he'll walk in. There's only one person there, kind of looking bored at the counter, and then they just like immediately straighten up and just look with wide eyes at all of you coming in your various forms and such. Wisp, you're gonna have to duck down because it's probably a little too low for you. Hi? It's like 16-year-old kid. No, actually they don't hire teens anymore. It's like maybe like 19, 20-year-old, at the register. Hi?
Vivi's just going to immediately point at a plastic Ronald McDonald and say to the employee, "Why is there a yellow and red plastic corpse with enormous shoes grimacing? It's very ghastly."
That's the what is it? Mascot?
But
Hi,
why?
Cobb. What can I get for you? What can I get for you and your friends?
Mortal, are your fries fresh?
Yeah, once I put him in the fryer. Mortal? What's he talking about, Cobb? And then Cobb's like just like saying something, murmuring under his breath, and he's like he just kind of nods and just goes back to attention. Yeah, so you can see the menu behind me, and yeah, just let me know what you want. I'll throw the fries in the fryer. 4, 5, large fries. Yeah.
6? What are we counting?
Is the McRib back?
Ah, it just went back out, man. It was like
Ah.
limited edition. Sorry.
Shamrock
From
shake?
whom do you source the McRib?
That's a kind of mystery secret that I'm not a high enough pay grade to tell you about, ma'am.
Oh, well, we can investigate. We're excellent investigators.
If it's McDonald's, why is it a Big Mac?
Cobb?
Tongues are silly like that. Don't think about it.
And then Cobb's just like, no. Just get six large fries, like 4 Big Macs. We'll deal with it. It's fine. Oh, and the 20-piece nugs, please. And
It's a nug.
chicken.
Is it a McNug? Why are they inconsistently named?
This could have been a mistake. As the camera pans directly onto Cobb's face as he says this. This could have been a mistake. Anyway, let's go find some place to sit. And of course, like, the best place to sit with the widest amount of area is over by the ball pit. They have a ball pit here.
I was just going to ask, is there a play place?
There's a ball pit.
Zero's eyes are going to go just super wide. Say, what is that?
That's a ball pit. That's for the little kids.
Zero's already running.
Zero, no. Oh, shit. And Cobb's just... And Cobb will slink over to the kid at the counter and just go, all right, look. Tell your manager I was here. And I'm paying with this. And he pulls out a black credit card. We'll take care of it. It's fine. You won't get in trouble. And he'll just slink right back as the kid is like, still with wide eyes, like, making everything and just like freaking a little bit out. But, like, and then for some reason, nobody's coming into the McDonald's. Okay, great. But yeah, I mean, what are you guys doing besides Zero jumping into the ball pit? God help us.
Maybe it's the giant hover jet that is deterring other visitors.
Just a little hover jet. It's fine.
It's
Without
closed, but no one can find parking.
It's in the parking lot. And Cobb, like, just offset park to the hover jet, so covers it badly. Sorry. What is everybody doing as we're waiting for Big Macs, nugs, and fries?
Yeah, Petri is slowly growing along the floor. My as a player end goal is to get this man into the deep fryer.
Oh my god.
Vivi, without having crossed the intervening space, just walks out of the kitchen.
Oh my gosh. Hey! How'd you do that?
Vivi just walks backwards like that, only forwards. But
Hey, you need to stay out of the kitchen. I'm trying to make some stuff and you're not supposed to be behind here.
Vivi presses a notebook and says, if you swap the placement of those 2 stations, your efficiency will increase by 0.3%. And just leaves.
Cobb. what is Wisp doing before I fast forward a little bit?
I think just in the background of that conversation that Vivi's having, we see Wisp with her like sword in hand, stalking across the kitchen, saying, "What is the source of the McRib?"
I don't know. I don't get paid like enough to know, ma'am. I just make it, and we don't even have any anymore. Limited edition. And Cobb's like, Wisp, come on, we gotta let the kid like do his job. Come on, come on, come on. Like, just I don't know. Join Zero in the ball pit. I don't know. I mean, like, target practice, whatever. I mean, just yeah, let the kid do his work.
Is this meant to smell like urine?
Oh God.
That seems to be typical, yes. A staggering number of universes include a ball pit that smells like urine.
Oh. I think I'm getting out now.
Why?
Cutting to food coming on two big trays out onto the widest table that's available here. Kid looks exhausted and can't really explain why. Just like, oh, Cobb. Hopefully that card's gonna cover it. Oh, it will, kid. It will. Yeah. So there it is. Like you smell the fries. They're like the perfect golden brown and crunchy looking and salted. And the sandwiches like actually look again like fresh. And the nuggets are all there. I think maybe Vivi counted them on the way out. Counts them again as they're
There was
placed
one
on
too
the
many
table.
if we put it back.
Don't do that, sir. I mean, they just ended up being attached together because that's how the breading worked. I don't know.
Zero will eat one of the fries and do just a whole. It's it. And then another one. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Right with the Sprite?
oh,
I don't know. That's just something Peter's telling me.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize that you guys wanted drinks. And it's like one of those big machines, like that's
Yeah.
in the corner, like with all the different soda drinks and everything in it. So, do you want a drink, Petri?
Sure, I'll take some Sprite.
He just keeps looking at you as he makes his way to the drink machine, and then will actually keep looking at you as he pushes the button for the Sprite, and then like brings it over to you. Curious to see what you're going to do with it.
Sprite not Faye? Is that not? Baby looks over at Wisp, like waiting for the explosion. They have sprites. They've confined sprites.
No, it's a drink. They called it Sprite. It's not. No.
Petri, for his part, will like just completely normal style with a 5-fingered hand and everything. Pick up the Sprite, lift it to a mouth that you're not certain was there before, but it looks normal. Take a sip, bite one of the fries in half, chew for a little bit, then take another sip, and go, it is different.
Vivi has failed to grow a stomach, but is instead creating a small bubble of time and is fast forwarding and rewinding the hamburger inside the bubble of time and is just staring at it in utter fascination. They look over at Cobb. It doesn't change at all.
Keep going. Keep going.
Vivi, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
15
they
Earth years, and maybe just points at it.
they did this experiment. Like, if you watched them put the fries underneath the dome, I mean, the fries didn't change. That's the weirder part. The fries didn't change. But
Why do you humans not use this technology everywhere?
because McDonald's keeps it proprietary. Nobody else can figure out how they do it.
Oh,
Wait.
And Vivi just starts producing lab equipment from a side.
Petri will just slap down one very slimy hand and absorb the Big Mac. This thing kills people.
Oh God.
So there are weapons here.
No.
No, like long term.
No.
You have to eat a lot of them.
Yes. Quite true. And yeah.
But it would give you what did you call it? Cancer?
Petri. Oh God. Well, it probably won't affect you guys at all if you do decide to eat it.
Zero's already on his second burger.
Nice.
I'm a god. I'm fine.
You are. You are, man. And like he'll actually like clap you on the back and be like, "Congratulations."
Oh, which god are you?
Oh no.
I don't know.
Possibly.
Wait, are you
is
sure?
Zero the god of Big Macs?
No, you're the god of dreams.
What?
Cobb, like, Cobb's head pokes up at that.
And wine, maybe?
Petri.
Sometimes death.
Oh, that explains a lot.
And you, Cobb, what's sparagmos?
What?
Sorry. Most of that might even be true.
Yeah. And then Cobb hesitates for half a second. Eat up. I gotta get some stuff to go for Lydia and Warren.
Maybe looks down at the burger. There's clearly no hurry.
I think they'd appreciate it, like, not being stone cold.
Well, humans.
And I think we close on people doing goofy shit with the food or eating it, saying, "I'm a god." And then Cobb is just like shaking his head as he inhales his food and then gets the stuff to go for Agent Danvers and Agent Peace. Anything else you want to do here before we go back to Division and find out what the new mystery is?
Oh yeah, we have a day job. I forgot.
We haven't. How is Wisp responding to the food?
That's a good question.
Oh, I think she's not eating any. She had too many cigarettes. She's full.
Oh no! Oh god!
Zero would absolutely be trying to get Wisp to have a fry. It's shaped the same way.
Do you want me to burn it a little?
Oh shit!
It smells awful. Get this. No.
It tastes awful, but I can't stop eating it.
Oh god!
It's amazing.
Oh my god. So true.
Vivi has at some point we'll go over before leaving to the poor shell-shocked kid and like shake their hand and say, "Thank you for letting us visit your restaurant. I will rate you 4 stars on the maps."
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Vivi peers at the kid's name tag. Devin?
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks. And Cobb kind of like taps the black credit card, like, real quick and like against his temple. And was like, "All right, see you next month, kid."
We can come back next month.
We'll see. We'll see. And he just kind of gives that backward look to the kid, like, oh, hold on tight, you know. So, yeah, with that, I think, God, I think that then with the kid, like, looking totally like agog, I think that's when we see the hover jet like rise into the air with you five going back, and none the wiser over at Division somehow. Maybe it was, Agent Danvers running interference while you went and got her some takeout. I mean, some drive-through.
Fly through?
Fly through, yeah. Yeah, I think as you're making your way back to... The moon has gone behind clouds. And I think as you're shooting into the sky, the clouds are starting to do some kind of pattern where we see what look like very large moth wings waving at the horizon line in the nighttime. So this new mystery is not in the book. This is a third party mystery, because I think given the way you guys have been doing the last few mysteries, it's like this just seems more fitting to me and a little bit more involved. So this may be the last mystery before the final one that I present. Content warnings include reality-changing gaslighting, gambling, violence, and mythic disembowelment. So if everybody's okay with this, then we'll proceed. Everybody has had their fast food, and I think the next morning the briefing has been called together. All of your handlers are there, kind of flanking you or sitting behind you and everything. And Cobb and Agent Danvers are kind of like trading looks like, yeah, nothing happened last night. It's fine. I mean, like, nobody went out unnecessarily. And the superiors are none the wiser, like I said. And so this is where the director will sit you all down, and she will begin by saying, Division has confirmed the reappearance of a relic of significant power, the Chernobog deck. It is a legendary proto-tarot collection of cards said to have been written with the blood of lost and murdered deities. The Chernobog deck was believed destroyed in the Great London Fire, but now it, or some kind of replica of it, has emerged in Las Vegas, Nevada. The nature of Vegas's intimate connection to fate, chance, and passions make it difficult for our prediction systems and oracles to parse. We know it has several significant magical forces have arrived on site, and we suspect it is related to the deck. We have determined that a harbinger has been manipulating the situation in order to open a door of power. Based on our backup copy of the Akashic record, we have confirmed the reality alterations have already occurred in the city, with 3 counterfactual existence events overlaying the original reality. There are 4 neighboring casinos with new identities. Your contact, Mr. Gaia, has experience with significant entities and has offered to share information with us. Travel to Vegas, discover the nature of this Chernobog deck and the form and purpose of these reality-warped casinos. Locate the harbinger and prevent them from opening the door of power. I think during the night before this even happened, before this briefing happened, perhaps everyone was subjected to some kind of dream. What strange major arcana-like symbolism has one of you dreamed of?
Anyone else have anything? Or should I?
I'm looking up real quick.
It can be anything. There are Oracle decks. This
Yeah.
is very explicitly not tarot.
It asks for one, but you know what? I'd like to hear all. Because I specifically asked you that question, and I'll tell you the reason why in a few minutes. What strange major arcana like symbolism have you dreamed of? Have each of you dreamed of before you even knew about this particular mystery?
Well, Petri is the Hierophant, but I think he dreams of the world.
I think Wisp dreams that she's sitting on an ornate throne between two pillars. One is a deep black, this glittering onyx. The other is white marble, but slicked red with blood. And in Wisp's lap, she holds the book, that thick tome about the things that were taken from her, still unopened. And above her hangs a single light bulb, though it shines with this like almost natural light, as though from the moon. And the horns on that grow from her head look more like Donovan's pattern, a crown.
I think Vivi dreams, you know, that diagram of the eye where there's the image and then there's the image going through and then upside down. And on the outside, there is Vivi, and they are singing, and there is a sort of glowing nimbus around them and around the earth. And in the image inside the eye, there is Vivi with human figures in distress, very sort of Bosch, who are being consumed by something.
Zero has never dreamed before. And I'm not sure he's dreaming now, but something else is. And he sees himself with a chain around his neck, chained to another version of himself. And behind them, a larger being, something indistinct and hard to make out, holding a torch in one hand and with horns. That's what's dreaming. He knows. And when he opens his eyes, sitting at the other end of his little bed is his dark half, sitting, staring back at him.
Amazing. Well, the reason I brought that up was because, yes, this is what is involved in the mystery, but also, too, kind of wanted to just show these really cool cards that I got from Unplugged, from Hit Point Press. And
I also have these. They are my favorite.
You just described, I don't know if you could see them, but I don't know if you can see, like, what's going on with them. But
it's animated.
Yeah.
You cannot see it, but they do. They've particular lenses on them. You have to sleeve those, by the way, or the lenses will rub off.
I didn't even think about that. I was just like, contemplating, like, oh shit, like, I gotta get these cards. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna come out clearly, but
that one works.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the Hierophant. Was yours the moon?
Yes.
Or the chariot, Wisp?
I think the chariot is the card that best represents Wisp, but her dream was about the High Priestess.
Yep.
Well, that's the chariot. That's neither of those. Oh no, that is one of those.
True. But and here's the moon. Vivi, this is the hermit. It's very hard to see, but it's like it kind of glows a little bit. Yeah. So, yeah, these are awesome. So, but yeah, you hear this and maybe you give each other an uneasy look, having dreamt or seen these things before hearing about them. And this mystery is again a third-party mystery, and it's called All the Bells on Earth. The facets involved for this are the nature of the Chernobog deck, reality warping casinos, the Harbinger, and the Door of Power. And given Vivi's Dream Future Review Protocol, you have the choice of also adding or rewriting one of these facets. So, looks like you are on the way to Vegas. Before you head over there, I just want to know whether you think any of the handlers are going with you. That's one. And two, knowing that there's reality warping happening in Vegas, are there any thoughts before you go on to the hoverjet and get ready to head over to Vegas itself?
I would love for more opportunities for confusion with Lydia and Cobb and Zero.
Okay. Yeah, I think knowing that this has to do with a tarot deck, I think Cobb is definitely going to make himself be the pilot, make himself be the pilot, as well as being on this particular mission for sure. And then Lydia will go that she can talk to some of her Vegas contacts and then see if she can get more information about what's happened to the particular casinos that got changed. Anybody else that we think will be on this mission?
We've never taken Agent Ehrlich on a mission.
We have not.
I think she'd have a great time in Vegas.
Okay.
It'd be
So are we
interesting
leaving?
if
Go ahead.
Donovan's stowed away. Donovan?
Ooh, I love that idea. Yeah.
This apparently Division is taking this as a vacation.
Not necessarily.
Or it really is that bad that we've got 3 agents assigned and a stowaway.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I think you make your way to Vegas, and what Lydia tells you, through her contacts and her research, is that the rumors are that the Chernobog deck has surfaced in Vegas. They can't tell if it truly is the deck or an aspect of it that was lost and now is found again. But what it has done is taken a square of casinos and changed each one of them into something that is not more reflective of the major arcana, or at least they think so. So the the original casinos were the Mandalay Bay, the Luxor, the Excalibur, and Bally's, but then they've now been replaced by the Red Rock Casino, which seems to be covered over with statues or chain motifs. And then archivist, the Assassin's Vow experience, has symbolism of swords all around its perimeter. There is a suit of trees here where one of the casinos has a Sherwood Forest title, and it is lush with greenery and imposing branches in its decoration. And finally, 2 intimidating towers labeled Wolf Towers, and has reliefs of beasts, mythical as well as natural, along its sides. The instruments have detected a series of ripples, changes in reality identified as counterfactual existence events, and they have been imprinted on these 4 casinos that all face each other in a square. So that is where you are headed, or at least nearby, and then you will have to investigate and see what the hell is going on. I think you land in an open desert tract, I suppose, outside of Las Vegas, outside of the Strip. And there is someone in a bespoke suit, very tall, maybe not as tall as Wisp, but taller than the tallest human. And Mr. Geyer is a beak-nosed being with a penchant for eating pâté. And he's just waiting there, kind of in his suit, as the hover jet touches down, and greets you as you come in. Well, hello. Division, I presume.
Vivi will hop down and energetically nod. You're having alternate reality and overlays, and humans don't normally have this level of technology. This is just so fascinating. Please tell me everything.
This is nothing to do with the humans. There are forces at work here that just seem to want to imprint themselves. And they're all different. And this is where he takes an appraising look at Wisp and says, that one, the Sherwood Forest, or at least that's what they're calling themselves, you would seem right at home there.
Are you doing what they call the racial profiling at me?
No, not at all. If you take a closer look at the Sherwood Forest, you'll see that there are signs of your people there, miss.
She still narrows her eyes at him.
Well, let me get you comfortable, set your base of operations, I'm sure, and we can discuss why I called you here, of course.
Zero will approach and say, do you know what Spagaros is?
No? Am I supposed to?
Not Spagaros. Petri, what was that word?
Sparagmos.
That's it.
Not acquainted with that? Them?
Oh no, it's an act.
Oh.
Ah,
I just don't remember what it is.
I see.
Maybe you should just, I don't know, try to do it.
But I don't know what it means. Is it related to spaghetti?
Maybe?
Sounds like one of those words they use for the plants that grow in the the bogs.
No, that's sphagnum moss.
Oh,
He just like shakes his head and looks at all of you and says, "Come with me. I will again give you a place to rest and then make plans to see what this is all about." And he will turn his back to Las Vegas and lead you further along into the more desert area. And he kind of raises his hands, and then you see coming up from the ground, like, shifting sand and dirt as something rises from the ground. And it looks like it's an entrance, but not mechanical. It's like as if a house has hidden underneath the ground and is just now being, lifted up and revealing itself, as if it's just growing out of the ground itself. And once it fully comes up and you see double doors, he will gesture grandly and say, "Welcome to my home." And then he will walk inside. I'll lead in more with Geyer next time. But anyway, let's go ahead and end that session. I don't think any of the session questions, unless somebody thinks that they've hit their impulse for this evening. Unless that falls into play.
I learned a whole lot about Wisp.
Okay. All right, you want to do end of session? Sure. Could totally do that. But then again, that means also, too, if we answer that question, like, did you do this, da-da-da, I think people are going to get ruined. Just so you know. Oh, no. So.
I'm safe.
Alrighty. End of sesh. All right. So, Wisp, did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
Yes, both.
Okay. Mark XP. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
Yeah, I think via her conversation with Donovan, she didn't get like a concrete answer.
Mm-hmm.
But she learned something new about the Fae.
Yeah. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yeah, if Donovan counts as a fellow monster, then I think so.
Sure. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door? So, if no, mark one ruin. And did you have an impulse that you tried to enact today?
Yeah, my impulse was, did you learn something significant about your prophecy? Maybe not.
Yeah, he touched upon it a little bit, but didn't kind of get like further into like, what it could mean.
Oh, you know what? I think Donovan saying that he had that feeling that Wisp was his leader or like
Yeah.
sovereign
There you go.
might count.
Yeah. No, because I was thinking about that. I'm like, is it count? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Okay. The Found. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
I think so.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
Yes.
Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
I feel like Wisp wanting to be the god of blood feels significant.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door? If no,
I did not.
Right. So mark a ruin, please. And what was your impulse for today?
Did I reclaim a fragment of my memories? I don't know if the dream.
Yeah,
did
I was
count,
wondering about
or-
that because like since you don't dream, like is this something that could possibly be a part of memory where you would sit with your dark self or you would
Yeah, did this literally happen to you?
Yeah, that would be my question.
I think it's possible that that's a representation of the Trinity of Zero.
Take it. It's fun. All right. The last. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
I think so.
Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I don't think so.
No. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yeah, both Zero and Wisp. Which gods they are or would be.
And did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door? Yes, you did. So, no ruin marked. And what was your impulse for today?
Did you allow yourself to find hope in the arms of another monster, which I keep picking and will happen one day?
Okay. And
I mean, I mean, not in the arms of, but Petri kind of gave you hope, maybe. Gave you notes, which I think for Vivi is the same thing.
I mean, what greater love is there than research?
Eating the entire hamburger that they're currently researching.
Oh my God. And our angel. That's what you're going with.
That's
Did
what we're
you-
going with.
All
We'll
right.
get a full. It's to the point now where I only work on it during sessions. So hopefully by the end of this campaign, we will
Oh my
have
God.
a full playbook.
Smack, smack. All right. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
Yes.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
Kind of off screen, but I did decide that Peter is unlocked now.
It's good.
That's
I
what he
mean,
was doing in the garden.
Yep. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yes. Learned all about Wisp's homeland.
Oh, yeah. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door? So mark a ruin, please. And did you have an impulse today?
I do have an impulse. And my impulse is, did you help someone else come to terms with absurdity? Now, I think that conversation with Vivi in the helicopter
Yeah,
counts.
that's great.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Jesus. Yep. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so that covers the end of session stuff. Let's go to, yeah. Sorry it was like so scene heavy, but I think y'all needed it just to do some downtime between mysteries. And so, stars and wishes. Stars are things you liked. Wishes are what you'd like to see for next time or the future.
I have a bunch of stars, so I'm
I
going to
also
go
have
first.
a bunch of stars. This was a
Okay.
very good session.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave some. I'm not going to list them all, so that way people can have things that I'm not just going to go through all of them. I love Ben. I love Zero's new habit of referring to mortals as mortal or entering a room going mortal. Please keep doing that forever. It is so fun.
Funny every time.
Help.
Mhm.
It has not gotten old yet. Chris, you should just try to do it. Re-Sparagmos was the most like chaos demon suggestion delivered with completely flat affect, and I loved it. It was like, I don't know, it was just a very good little.
None of us
Petri-
know what it is. The fact that I, Chris, know what it is just
Yep.
dramatic irony.
Elle, I really enjoy your description of Wisp's home. I thought it was beautiful and moving, and painted a wonderful picture with words. And I kind of want to actually like have scenes there now. Except it also sounds horrible. So I think you did a fantastic job with that, and I that painted in some backstory for Wisp for me. I think. Maz, I have a whole bunch. The ones I will pick are just Lydia saying "has it" in response to Zero saying that it clarified things in just the most confused tone. As well as taking my ridiculous dream future review protocols and making it creepy despite the fact that I was giving you dream garbage.
I like green dream garbage.
Everything in the McDonald's and the poor Cobb and poor whatever his name was.
You named him. His
Devin.
name was Devin.
Yeah. wishes. This seems really interesting as a mystery, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's go. Let's find things. Let's have 4 different playgrounds that we will all be able to do weird things in different ways.
At least 4, yeah.
At
And
least
it's
4.
a complexity 8, so yeah, you've got like a lot to build on.
Oh, no, that's so many.
Whatever will we do? I guess we'll have to find keys and do scenes and stuff.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to spend a long time in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I
Maybe.
it is my personal mission and greatest wish to drag Vegas out into the light of God
Oh no.
and have it follow
No.
us home.
Oh no. Oh, we'll see.
I actually love the idea if we can like make an irrevocable truth that actually what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and this is the one place you could apocalypse and not kill the whole world.
Oh my god!
Do you
Holy
have
shit!
4 overlaid realities? I mean, you got a couple chances to get it right.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh shit.
If he just rewires an entire casino to explode the sun and it works.
Oh
Yep.
shit. Oh my
Ooh.
god. My brain is like broken but also like fascinated at the same time. Damn. Okay.
Star for that,
Star for that.
first of all.
Yes.
Stars for the chocolate covered tape deck. I love Dream Garbage. Thank you so much. Mads as Cobb, I think, the first time Zero entered a room and went mortal. Your reaction was just, we're down to mortal now? Dude. And it was perfect. I love it so much. Massive star to Ben and Elle for the very juvenile flirting that went on during that whole God conversation. The note I have here is blood, maybe? Obvious pause waiting for approval. And am I forgetting anybody? Oh, Matt, somehow, oh no, I gave you the dream. Yeah, we're good.
I will go. Wishes, Chris, or
Listen, you've activated my special interest. I will be insufferable for at least 2 sessions. I apologize now. But I love a tarot card.
So my stars, Chris, Petri rising like Nosferatu just got me right away. It was perfect. And then your suggestion that Zero not step on Petri, step in Petri as he moves through the garden was just
Juicy.
Yep. But also I really liked getting some glimpses of Peter. I want more of that little detail and see what comes of it.
He's dead, sorry.
But you
Ask
still
about it.
heard from him. Yeah, Zero's gonna ask. Matt, Vivi, and Erlich scene and the dream was always good. And also just having to deal with your arms, and then after describing your arms as these like hideously long things, then saying that you pull out a notebook and the image of you writing with your arms like 5 feet away. It was just really good. Elle, your or Wisp's comment about racial profiling, but also your dream was so evocative and so good. And as mentioned, the description of the homeworld. I want to see more about. I want to see more of the homeworld too, of the Fey world. Mads, I did not expect all of these people to assume Zero is walking around with time in his head for romantic feelings. and being sweet on people, but I love that it seems to keep happening, and I quite enjoyed that. I quite enjoyed the scenes at McDonald's very much so. Thank you for accommodating that absolutely wacky, unnecessary side quest.
I had so much fun doing that, I will say. I mean, like, stars for just the back and forth goofiness of it. I mean, like, but it's like, there's seriousness. You guys are just like, like, I, again, like there's emotional moments, and then like I can hear it. It's like it's there. Like, you have feelings towards each other. Like you're trying to find your own way through this weird ass world. Like, why the hell are you trying to help the humans, and but still doing it because you're doing it? I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thing to watch each of you in your own way, like either try to be like a protector, but yet also like not necessarily seeing the sense of it. I think it's very interesting to watch. And like you also have human handlers that have their own perceptions of you all and have their own lives, and you know things happening with them, or like what was their relationship with division, what the hell does division have on them. I mean, like just like all of that, and your each of your fascination with a particular part of the story, like of your NPCs, like dealing with them. So stars for all of the responses, because then it like helps me build the NPC story as well, because these are really rich characters, and it's like you deserve backdrops for your characters to show their relationship, show how they relate maybe to people as well as to each other. So yeah, I mean, like, again, the goofiness is there, but I mean, like, I still feel like you guys are still not like so tonally broken that it's like it's farcical. I mean, it just seems to work, and I'm not sure why or how, and I'm just thanking goodness that it is working out. So thank you very much. Stars for that. um Wishes, more chaos. Yeah. These particular casinos that have been shaped for the different realities, it's like I wish to bring in more of, yeah, there is a reason why Donovan stowed onto the ship, because I think he's hearing the siren call of the particular casino that is named Sherwood Forest. And I think that your land, Wisp, is coming ever closer than anyone even thought, which is going to be their mistake. Um, and you don't know how weird the other things are. I mean, like, each one of you may find something that appeals to you from these other casinos, in which case it's going to be delicious to see, like, what you guys cotton on to, and I can't wait to find out. That's me.
A lot of my stars have already been said, so I'm gonna say different things. There was one point in the session, I can't remember exactly when this happened, but Vivi was confronted with a problem and quote unquote started doing math about it, which I thought was a great phrasing. And so Vivi. Um, I also really enjoyed in the scene at McDonald's, as all of this like kind of wacky, goofy stuff is going on, the moment where Petri was like, "Oh no, I know exactly what god you are. You're the god of these are your domains." I thought it was a really interesting tonal counterpoint to the scene, like this moment where of surprise, like I know this intimate thing about you that you don't even know, Zero. And I think it would be really interesting to see whether Zero latches onto that and whether that's like a huge catalyst for them learning more about themselves. I also had the mortal, and this has been very informative moments written down for Zero. But yeah, I thought the whole conversation about what domain you would like to be, it was very interesting and very fun. And I hope that Zero does get to add asteroids to their domains. For wishes, Yeah, I'm really interested to see what Donovan's gonna get up to in Las Vegas. I think him stowing away was a really fun idea. I think Matt suggested. I thought that was really great. And my other wish, yeah, I'm really interested in Peter and that like little kernel of Petri's past, but especially like Peter's relationship with Lydia. I thought the hints that we got today were really fun, and I'm hoping to see more.
Oh my gosh, so much fun, you guys. Thank you so much. I mean, I was really looking forward to this because, as usual, I did not figure out what the next mystery was going to be until about half an hour before we started. Yay! Yay me. And I found this one and I was just like, yes, yes. Because especially with all the weirdness that you guys have built up to this point, it just seemed to fit so much better than a couple of the things that are already in the book, or the things that, like, one of the things in the book seemed like it would fit, but later on, but then I'm like, this one's going to be very involved. So I'm pretty much sure that once we're done with this, like, we'll be going right into the final mystery, and then we'll see what happens, because by then y'all may implode or whatever with the world, and reality. So I look forward to seeing that so much. I really do. Anything else before we end? Okay. Thank you all so much, and happy gaming for the rest of the week, and then we will see you next time. Alrighty. So
Good night.
thank
care,
you.
all.
Good
Night.
night.
I never